Hello, everyone, and welcome to the first session of our compliance series. Across the financial sector, organizations are under growing pressure to secure systems, protect data, and control access in line with regional mandates. In the UAE, the new cyber mandate has raised the bar and with it the complexity. Over the next 20 minutes, we'll break down what this directive means, who it applies to, and its real impact. We'll share case examples and show you how a unified compliance platform can simplify controls, cut overheads, and strengthen both security and agility. This session is designed for leaders, CIOs, CROs, founders who need to turn complex mandates into clear, measurable outcomes. We'll keep this session clear, practical, and designed to help you see how compliance can be simplified. I'm Upasna, CEO and co-founder of Bluebricks, and with me is Vikram Sareen, our CTO and co-founder.
Yeah, very good day to all of you. Let's jump in.
So we at Bluebricks accelerate businesses worldwide with security and automation solutions, unlocking their hidden potential for a safer, better future. Before we dive in, just a quick note on housekeeping. Today's session will run for about 20 minutes with 5 minutes for Q&A at the end. Please stay engaged, drop your questions in the chat, and if you face any technical issues, just refresh or restart. The session is being recorded and will be available for replay later. So let's get started. Compliance is no longer a checkbox. It positions you for success because it builds trust, it strengthens resilience, and creates a competitive edge. So turning what was once a cost into a catalyst for growth. Um, First off, we need to really understand this mandate, who it applies to, what the core requirements are, and where do your priorities lie, and why does this complexity matter? So let's dive in. The UAE cyber mandate was announced on the 4th of June 2025, that's just this year, and every licensed financial institution will need to comply by March 31st, 2026. The clock is ticking, which means now is the time to ask some questions. Most importantly, where are you today? It applies to all digital systems, not just core banking, and comes at a time when fraud is increasing and trust is under more pressure than ever. So the question for each institution is really quite simple. Are you on track to meet the directive, or will the gaps expose you to both compliance risk or reputational damage?
Yeah, true.
Vikram, please take over the cases.
Okay, thanks. Yeah, thanks, Anna. I think that's very important. Reputational damage, and I think reputation is like a tree, and it takes 5, 10, 50 years to build, but with single incidents it can get spoiled, right? So that is why I think So there are a couple of cases that I've put across here. They are not showing that everything that can possibly go wrong, but more from what is the landscape right now, which has happened in last year. So if you look at Lulu, which is a hypermarket, which definitely is linking with the commerce aspect, they got hacked and they kind of leaked out a lot of data. Then going towards the telecom sector, Etisalat is a big name. Then M2 crypto, Dubai is a great place. UAE is a great place where crypto does thrive, and we could see that the hackers are attacking over there. And then obviously Dubai police had a phone scam. And most importantly, the central bank has been talking about that financial institute should be taking the lead. So with all that happening, they this year they came out with the mandate to saying that, okay guys, we need to put things together. Now what organically happens in most of the enterprises is that because tech is evolving, we are evolving, processes are evolving, COVID came, changed a lot of things, right? So things become fragmented, and the fragmented controls, and if you see, I think all of us would agree with me that every year the tech cost is going up and up and up, right? So 10 to 20% increase, if you're on a cloud or, even on-prem, even the energy cost has gone up, right? So there's obviously cost is a big factor. And then hackers are becoming smarter. Everybody knows that they are using AI or Gen AI very, very well to trick us more with, voice phishing, video phishing, deep fakes. And in all that turmoil, every gap that kind of gets left out, becomes a risk for us. So the timing of the UAE cyber mandate is quite spot on. They are pushing, that we need to go for something better, and which is more, or I would say, fill up those gaps. They have listed down very, very well, and they have taken ahead. So what this slide shows, which I'll spend, I think, a bit of a time, is that what does this directive asking us to do? So in essence, they have broken it down, what is the directive and where the impact is. So the first one is they have very clearly said that move away from SMS and email OTP. Very fantastic stuff. Why? Because you have malware devices which can steal OTPs. You have third party or man in the middle where OTP can be stolen. Email obviously, can be hacked. That's the first target. So keeping all that in mind, moving away from that for enrollment, for transaction, is a great way ahead, from the directive point of view. And what you should be looking at as an impact is that you should get a face ID, touch ID, biometrics, adaptive authentication, risk-based authentication, continuous authentication or security, right? Software token embedded inside your phone, in your internet banking trading platform, and then obviously going towards more. So the idea is to move away from very basic security, which possibly is a 2FA or a weak 2FA, moving towards a more evolved, comprehensive, compact, with a great user experience, right? And running in the background, or running with a very easy, to use kind of, experience. The second is that, which obviously makes, the license institutes, have more liabilities, that for the fraud losses, if you have a weak security, for 3DS, let's say, if you're still using OTP or not using OTP, then the fraud losses are going to come on the licensed, financial institute. Now, this is a big call, because if we have fraud, there are penalties, then it will come from your own pocket. So we definitely need to have something where, it can become this thing. So obviously their intention is that when the businesses become better with their compliance, with their security, it trickles down to the common customers and overall benefit of the community, or the society, or the state, or the country. So again, we all have to own that, responsibility. So this is where they are putting that. Then they are expecting that we should have fraud monitoring 24/7. Now, again, 24/7 doesn't mean that we have to have 10, 20, 50 people sitting in a room and monitoring. No. AI, rule-based engines, FRM engines can do a wonderful job of doing that. Yeah. Then where the user behavior or the policies which are being enforced can be kind of churned into, and every transaction that is going through, every beneficiary that is getting added, every e-commerce transaction that is happening can be kind of evaluated whether it's a fraudulent transaction or not, and then based on that build on top of it, right? So it can integrate with your other systems, which could be your loan system, your core banking, your commerce, your merchants, and so on and so forth. So, and the next one, which I think the industry is moving towards and quite popular, now, is behavioral biometrics. How you type, how you hold the phone, where you are. Are you typically doing it in a moving where geovelocity is there? So there are many attributes which come when it comes to behavior. Like a simple example is the way I hold the phone, and I type, is very different to anybody else. So it's a very unique attribute of me, which can be used by the bank or by the, institute or by the lender to actually evaluate, is it really Vikram? Yeah. So that's coming in. And that's where the AI ML plays role. And then the next part is to do with data security. I personally love that, because most of the time the focus is more on authentication and identity and authorization. But what if the hackers gets in, and then steals the identity, which is what they're doing now, and gets access to the data? So we need to look at data security much aggressively. If I have agents who are appointed, what kind of data access do they get? Do they get to see masked information on the screen when they see it? Or is my DBA, which is sitting at the back, is able to process it? So there's this beautiful things that they have asked us to do. Then obviously customer empowerment, third-party wallets, if we're using them, then also regulate and mandate them, and very easy single-click enrollment. So they're focusing not just making it difficult for the users, but keeping it very easy and light, but have those necessary security attributes onboarded. So a very, very good directive, very, very well thought of directive, very, I would say, fun to work with directive, because it really brings the identity and data across the digital, channels that are being offered by the institutes, into a single play. Yeah. So I love it.
Absolutely. Perfect time to just sit back and ask yourself, some very important key questions, So beyond just compliance checklists, how confident are you that your audit trails would stand up to regulatory scrutiny today? It's important to sit back and question yourself, how ready are you? What kind of authentication are you using? So just get your teams together, pen, paper, start asking yourself those questions.
Here and where we can help them with that aspect, and that's what we would love to do. But you're right, I think it's a good time to self-respect where are the gaps that we have and how we can move forward in fixing them. And the beautiful thing what they have done is that it's not like one solution that will solve it, right? It's a set of solutions that will solve it. So the next thought that you would have is that, okay, how much investment do I need to get my board to approve it, and how many systems do I need? What kind of vendors do I need to pick up? Now that's how it will fill in, because you have data security, you have identity, you have FRM, like fraud risk management, things like that, right? So, or there can be an option where it could be a single system, right? So I think that's where we take pride, because what we have built is using a single platform. We are able to create, identity and data security, together. So meaning, and obviously identity and data covers a lot of things, which could be onboarding, continuous authentication, credit scoring, like a fraud and risk engine, case management, data security, masking, substitution. There is so much happening in that, just that little phrase, identity and data security. Yeah, it's like multiverse inside it. Yeah. So obviously what it gives is strong authentication, real-time fraud detection, threat defense, so that we can comply not just with the regulator, but also bring it down as a single source, or not look at multiple solutions but a single solution. Yeah, which obviously brings cost saving and efficiency. So obviously the product is XEM Protect. So we call it ourselves not just IAM, but TIDAM, Trusted Identity Data and Application Access Management. The intention is because IAM are very much focused on the identity aspect and data access aspect, authorization aspect. But there's this whole new story of where FRM fits in, where or fraud risk engine fits in, where data security as a whole fits in. That's not covered by IAM. So if you're looking at IAM solution, it really doesn't solve the problem. You still have to look at a few solutions in place, right? So that's where we have built XM over the last 9 years, which can actually cater for much more. And Sana, you and I know that we have done so many multiple deployments, right? Which cater for this. Very quickly, keeping time, it's a bit time sensitive. It's only 20 minutes. So when you look at XEM, it will bring in strong authentication, fraud engine inbuilt, customer empowerment and orchestration, like how do you score them, when do they get onboarded, what kind of transactions they can do, Google Wallet to commerce to all these others. Then going towards behavioral biometrics, where AI gets used. Then obviously data security as a whole, like this itself is like a big webinar. Then looking at their whole life cycle and management of that, and what protection is needed when it comes to web and mobile applications, or the script protection that is required by PCI DSS now. So I know I'm talking a bit fast right now, but the intention over here is to share with you that a single platform that's able to kind of cut across multiple need, from something like UAE cyber directive, is all present in a single platform as a single solution. Yeah. Okay, to get the details, we have a paper, so you can scan the QR code and get access to that paper, which will help you to further dive into what we are preaching right now here, and you can look at yourself that what of the directive is component mapped to what we have right now, right? And you would see that we already have this, and there is plus, like you can do more than this, but again, keeping the focus on the directive. Yeah. Now, this is something which I always like to share, is that to be something where you look at a platform, you need to look at their maturity chart. And if you look at this particular chart, you will see that we have the necessary, traits and attributes and controls and features in place as a company, as a product, as a process, which can actually help you to become what you need when you go in the journey forward. So even if you're a new bank, or if you're a new bank, or if you're a digital bank or a traditional bank which is being mandated, or if you're a lender, if you're a crypto platform, if you're a trading platform, whatever, big or small, doesn't matter, you will be looking at something like this, right? So this is where we stand out. We have worked with, I think, I would say at least triple digit, set of PFSI and enterprises where we have done the deployment. So this is something which we do for our bread and butter, and we definitely hoping that UAE is also a place where we can come and support. So Sana, I think this is something which you can. I have kind of summed it up, but this removes you from silos. Not have too many applications, too many separate authentications, but have a single one, and look at not multiple vendor, multiple solution kind of architecture, but a single platform, single solution, single vendor, single SLA, solution, which can run on premise or on cloud, whatever you desire, keeping the cost low, but still offering the compliance aspect which is being demanded. Yeah. So uh, going towards the next one. Um, so from our experience, what we have done with other I would say BFSI customers, once we bring in the system, especially for something like UAE cyber mandate, within 2.5 or 3 months, you can see the immediate benefits. Firstly, weak OTPs will go away. We'll have a much better, stronger multi-factor kicking in, which could be absolute, adaptive, FIDO, WebAuth to embedded SDKs, behavioral, all those kind of things. That obviously leads to the urgent UAE mandate fulfillment, so we don't get any fined. So that's a good thing. You want to get the ticks sorted out, and then you can look at it how it can be integrated. So we have a lot of ready-made SDKs and APIs which can practically be shipped in. So we have a couple of OEMs where we ship them in, and then they are protecting those banking, financial transactions, trading platform, and stuff like that. So again, immediately you can bring it out down instead of building yourself, right? So we feel that when you build, it takes much longer time, and you might have some new gaps that is being introduced. So better is to go for ready SDKs and all that. And a few of our SDKs are ISO certified, so that's something you could enjoy. And we also comply with FIDO, WebAuth, which also makes it as a standard. SAML, OpenID, WAUth, all those standards are complied in our platform. And lastly, it obviously brings the FRM, or the with the FRM in the action, the frauds will come down, and you will straight away see the benefits over there. Yeah. So I think, Sana, over to
Not
you.
just, yeah, no, and going back to the previous slide, it's not just these benefits. You also are, also your audit trails and your reporting becomes so much easier and streamlined.
Yes, yes, very spot on. Auditing and case management is a big one. I think experience where the fraud engine itself can actually get the user to confirm if they've done the transaction. Especially there's something called asynchronous transactions, like an ATM transaction, or a or a linked SaaS billing that is happening on your card. Now there could be a fraud, there could not be, but that's where it can come in. So huge benefits from audit, reporting, automation, self-service, all those different aspects, which we haven't touched upon here for time constraint. But going forward, I think, Sana, let's offer this thing. We have
It's,
one or two questions which
yes,
are coming in, so we can take that also if time permits.
yes, yes. Thank you. There's actually so much to talk about it, but we need to be sensitive to time. So thank you so much, everybody, for being here. And we've just as a token of gratitude for being here, we are offering a couple of takeaways from this webinar. We are offering free 45-minute, two sessions of 45 minutes each, where we can do a gap analysis of, quickly understanding what you have and what are the gaps with respect to the mandate, and also offer a compliance protection calculator, which would, map the current controls against the key frameworks. So if you want, if you would like to benefit from this, please do scan this QR code or send us an email. The email ID is there. It's connect@blue-breaks.com. And or you can just reach out to Vikram and me directly on LinkedIn. We'd be very happy to, get our teams on onto this.
Yeah. Okay. Sorry. I think that was the. Yeah.
So there are a
So
couple of questions that have come in, Vikram. So one of the first ones is that what is the benefit of a unified platform and how does it reduce compliance costs compared to multiple tools?
okay. I think I did cover that, but in essence, if I have to roll it out, and we had done a couple of projects last year also, got some design wins, including a couple of tenders where, you had the customer onboarding, you had the credit scoring, you had the FRM, fraud risk engine, then you had the e-signing, and you also had the continuous authentication or multi-factor coming in. So now if I have to, I'm just taking a very simple example. If you have to go individually for each, you possibly have to buy 5 different vendors, helping you out with solving this. So your price, if not 5x, at least it goes to 3x to 4x. Now, if you have a single platform like Axiom, it can bring everything down as one, and you can choose what you want. So we have deployments where they are taking strong authentication, FRM, as a core, right? Because that's what they want to protect immediately. But then going forward, they say, okay, hey, can I also use your e-signing? Can I also use your credit decisioning engine or data security, right? So because the more you can consolidate, it automatically has tangible and intangible benefits. Single vendor, single contract, single SLA obviously reduces the cost for any company. Yeah. So that's a short and sweet answer, but definitely brings the cost down. For the simple reason is technically also it's a single platform which will be running for you and your multiple applications, or you as a service provider for multiple tenants, let's say smaller banks, or credit unions, and then they can have their individual apps. So Exim Protect also, just want to mention on a technical front, is a multi-tenant platform which can run on premise, totally offline, or it can be on AWS Marketplace, which is ready available. You can just click and start using it, or it could be on your own, cloud, wherever you want us to install it. Sorry, Sana, I think I went a
Yes,
little
no,
bit
no.
technical, but yeah.
No, but that's something that I would also like to highlight. I know you mentioned it's multi-tenant, but if you're like one organization that has different units that are operating as separate businesses, maybe you have, your small and medium loans, and you have another arm that's doing another thing, and they would need sort of different business logics, different policies, then this is one system that could cater for both of those requirements without it being separate, integrations, deployments, different vendors, adds a lot of complexity to it. There's another question. How quickly can we implement this in a licensed financial institution?
uh, Fastest is 2 weeks, but ideally, it would take roughly around 6 to 8 weeks for a quick implementation, which would involve, I would say, strong authentication and something like FRM getting used. And then, if there are more internal connectors, let's say if you're connecting to the LOS, or I would say core or internet mobile banking, synchronously, where SDKs are getting added, then it would go to 8 to 9. So I would say a 3 month plan for project delivery for something like this is a good plan. It can become 4 months for, let's say if you're procuring your hardware and stuff like that. But typically, I would say fastest one could be month and a half, or it could be, about three months, 90 days. So that's the timeline. So we are very, very well placed right now, to execute it.
Do we have time for one more question or?
I think we have yeah, another
Okay.
40 seconds.
So will this platform align with both UAE central bank directives and PCI DSS 4.0?
Yes, yes, totally. And that is one of the main intentions also. If anything which is to do with cards, if you're touching upon that, or the customer data is coming in, so that's where the PCI is coming in, right? For, let's say, they mentioned about Google Wallet and all that. So yes, definitely. And that's what we have done with multiple, deployments of ours, where we have the internet banking, mobile banking, a loan origination, a trading platform which is offered by the financial institute, and then you have the lending and other things which are coming in, and then obviously the wallets and others. So it kind of cuts across all of them, and that is very, very unique to what Exim brings on the table. That it helps you with PCI DSS, as well as now UAE mandate and many other compliance like that. Like somebody might say, I want to go GDPR, or if it's a health institute, then they have their own. So yes, that is the whole idea. So our short form for Blue Bricks is actually compliance accelerator. We help the companies to achieve compliance much faster, and you would have multiple compliance to meet, either at a national level or at an international stage. So we help them comply with both.
Perfect.
Okay, I
Thank you.
think we
Thank
have.
you so much.
Yeah,
Yes. Thank you so much, everybody, for joining in. Thank you so much, Vikram, for sharing all of these insights and for answering all the questions. Everybody, once again, thank you for joining in. And
thank
please
you.
feel free to reach out and, let's see you next time in our next webinar.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you
Have
so
a
much.
good day.
Yeah, thanks. Yeah.